Today I will be testing if I can use AI to solve a real-life coding challenge. This is a task that I have at hand right now that I don't feel like doing myself, and I want to put to the test if this coding agent can solve the task for me. The short answer is yes, because I already tried this before. So I know how to do it, and I'll show you exactly what you need to do in order to get AI to work for you in a highly complex full stack coding project. So this is not just creating a to-do app from nothing or coding the game of Snake in Python from nothing. This is actually going into a really complex project and adding features into that, which have not really been possible for a long time. I've tried out tools like Cursor, GitHub Copilot, Pythagora, Ada, and I didn't have too much success with most of them. Now, to be fair, it's been maybe more than half a year ago since I tried some of the tools, and they have probably improved quite a lot since. So maybe some of them are on the same level as the tool we are going to be using today. But the tool I'm talking about is Cline, and it was formerly known as Claude Dev. It's, in my opinion, the best coding agent. I also pay for VS Code Copilot, the GitHub one, and the code completion is priceless. I can't live without it, but getting it to solve tasks is just not very good at it in my opinion. But Cline here is, on the other hand, really, really good at it. So what you need to do is go to the extensions tab in VS Code, search for Cline, and then you'll just hit the install button. Once you have installed Cline, it will appear out here in the sidebar. And you need to do a little bit of setup. So you click on the cogwheel here, and then you need to choose AI provider. Now, I believe that this open router, which was recently added, is supposed to be the best one. If you sign up with them, you just have to sign up once, and then you can choose all kinds of different models. But I started out with Anthropic, and the Claude Sonnet model is the one I've had best results with. So this is like crazy good. The problem with Anthropic is that it's not free. You have to pay for use, and also there is a limit to how much you can do per day with the normal developer account. So I believe it's like 1 million tokens per day or something like that. And I reached that pretty quickly. And then you have to upgrade to an enterprise account, which is even more costly. But what you can do instead is using Google Gemini. Google Gemini is free, at least I haven't been asked to pay anything yet. So you just go to Google and search for Google Gemini API key, and then you are taken through a little sign-up process, and within a few minutes you have this key. You just need to paste in your key right here, and then you're good to go. Then you click done. So now to the task at hand. I have here in VS Code opened a mono repository. It's a JavaScript full stack project. I have a backend right here, and it's a Medusa backend. And if you don't know Medusa, it's an open source e-commerce project that you can build on top of. So you can build web shops or other kind of commerce projects on top of Medusa backend. And they also have a storefront, and the storefront, when connected with the backend, then you have a full system for managing products for your administrators. And the storefront is like the web shop where people can buy all the products that you set up. I have here in my terminal running the backend in one terminal and running the storefront in another terminal. I have implemented in my backend recently some new features that are not standard, and one is automated email when signing up administrators. So all this code is something that I've added, and I also added another one right here, order placed. So all of this code right here is an order confirmation email that I've added. So when someone purchases an item from my web shop, this code will run, and they will be getting an order confirmation email. I'll just show you what that looks like, and then I'll show you why I need AI to change it for me. So here is the web shop. It's very simple. These products are demo data that comes with the Medusa starter project. If you want to try out Medusa for yourself, I have a video on how you can deploy it with just one click on Railway, and then you get this full stack with the backend, admin dashboard, managing products, and the storefront. It's very easy to do so. But let's go ahead and place an order. So I'll find some shorts, choose large, add to cart, and I'll get also a small pair of shorts. Go to cart, go to checkout, and I'm pre-filling with John Doe information. So this email is not a real email address. I'll click continue to delivery, choose the standard shipping. And I didn't set up in this project any credit card provider. So for development purposes, I can just click manual payment, and then we don't have to worry about entering credit cards when placing orders, which is really nice. And I'll place the order. Okay, so now the email should have been sent, and I'm using a resend integration. So if I go over to my resend dashboard here and refresh, I'll see that John Doe, that we tried to send an email to John Doe just now, but it bounced because this is not a real email. But we can inspect what it looked like. And this is the email, the order confirmation email that I have, and it doesn't look very nice. So I want to change that, and I want to ask the AI to do that for me. Another thing I want to do is I want to get rid of some of all this plumbing, so all this error handling and getting the notification module service. If we inspect these two files, we'll see that a lot of it looks very similar, and there's a lot of redundancy, and we can get rid of that. So I'm trying to build up a number of tasks for the AI to do all at once. So I want to style my emails nicer, and I want to get rid of redundancy. So I wanted to create an email utility that has a more simple emailing interface function. And then I want it to create some styling. And then when it's done with all that, I want it to refactor these two files to use the new utility. So this is more streamlined. Let's go ahead and do that. So I'll go ahead to Cline, and for this to work the best, you need to give it some context. So I'm going to explain it what we're doing here. So the first is the base context. I'm working on Medusa 2.0 project. Medusa JS 2.0 project. So know what we're doing. And now I'm going to explain it what I did recently. So I said I recently implemented 2 automated email, and then I hit the add key, and then I'm going to find the file. So invite created, and then you see it creates like a link to this file. That means that when I send this message, the content of this file will be included in the request. And order placed. So now I know these two. I've implemented these two. Now I explain what I need changed. So the problem here is there are some redundant code that I want to reduce, and the emails are styled poorly. Now I'm going to list step by step what I wanted to do. First, I wanted to create a utility that exports a function. The function is called send email, and it takes only an object with 2 subject and body. So this is to streamline this, and this just to 3 parameters. And then because the notification module service needs to be extracted from container in this project, is how it works, I need to pass in the container also. It will probably find out itself if I didn't write that, but to be sure that it gets it right on first try, I'm adding this information. The next task is create a modern looking email body template that can be used across all my emails. The next thing, create a style email function that is called with body to style all emails with the same style template. And the last part is refactor invite created and order placed to use this new function. I'm going to give it a little bit more details because I want the error handling to happen inside the email util function. So I'm going to tell it to do that. Do the error handling inside the send email function. Okay, I think that's all. I told it what kind of project I'm working in, and I have linked to the 2 files that I've created myself, so it gets a lot of context from my own code right here. And then I'm describing exactly what I needed to do and listed the task 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's hit the send button and see if this is gonna work. And it's creating email utils TS, so this is a new file that it's creating. I'll just scroll through it and see if I agree with what it did. So it's creating send email function, and it is taking in 2 subject body and the container exactly as I asked it to. It's creating the notification module service right here. It does the error handling, and it looks correct here. It has style email with the body. And let's inspect what that looks like. So it created here a HTML document, and it's putting in some font and some color, some hover effect even. looks like it didn't create a nice container and a background, so I'm going to ask it to do that also. So I write some additional information in the email template. I want the body inside a centered container with rounded edges, drop shadow. The background of the container should be white, and the background of the back of the background should be a soft gray. Okay. And here's now a container element with white background, and it has some box shadow. I think this is what I want. So let's just scroll all the way through. Yeah, it looks good. I'm clicking save, and then it should start doing refactor in one of these two files. Let's see. And it started with the invite created. Let's just see that it does it right. So it's importing the send email function, and it's deleting a lot of lines here. So this is exactly what I was hoping for, to reduce the complexity of the events that I'm subscribing to here. So I very easily can just call with like one line, send a whole email, and it will be styled nicely from no matter where I do that. Obviously, I need to create a subject and also the body of the email per email I'm sending. So this is exactly what I wanted. I'm gonna click, actually I'm gonna scroll to the top, and then I'm going to be deleting these imports that it is not using anymore. It didn't do that itself. Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't, but you can just modify this compare view, and then when you click save, you'll see that it includes user edits. So if I expand this, in the request that it's sending back, it's including my edits. And in that way, if you want to teach it some things like deleting tailing commas or something like that, you can do that. And when you hit save, it will be told what you changed, and usually it will actually follow your changes going forward with the task. So that's a really nice feature. Okay, it now started to do the order placed, and you see exactly as I predicted, because I removed the import from the previous one and it included that in the save, it now removed unused import in the next file here. This is really amazing. Let's scroll through the implementation. It has the body here, and it's just calling the send email function right here, and it got rid of all the error handling. That is beautiful. I'll click save, and it might say that it is done. Let's see. Yeah, it's saying that it's completed, but we need to put it to the test. So I need to restart my backend here. Yeah, now my backend is running. Now I just have to place another order to see if the email is styled nicely, and I'm also going to be triggering the other event, which was inviting an admin user, and see that they are both styled in a similar way. So this was the old order confirmation email, very ugly. Let's go and place another order. Let's also get a white one. Okay, order was placed. Let's go to resend and just digest this look for the last time. Not so nice. Go to emails, and we have one less than a minute ago, and of course it bounced because johndoe@email.com is not a real email. Oh boy, doesn't that look nice? It's exactly what I wanted. A white container on a gray background with some drop shadow, and it even created a nice like style for the table right here. Beautiful. Okay, I now restarted my Medusa backend, and I'm ready to log into my admin user. And just to confirm, I'll see, yeah, here is the order that we created just a second ago for John Doe. Let's add another user. So I go to the settings tab, users, and I want to invite a user. I'm going to choose actual email. So I'll find a 10-minute email inbox here, copy that address and paste it into our email field here. And then I will invite another administrator. Okay, so this is now sent. Let's see if the email is being received. Yeah, there was an email. And right here, it's not styled very well, but that's because this is a text-only inbox. So let's go over to resend and go to the emails. And here is one, and it says delivered because this was an actual email. And doesn't that look beautiful? We're reusing the same styling everywhere. Now, I don't know about you, but this was pretty impressive to me. Just by the use of this free VX Code extension and an unpaid AI service and some simple instructions, I was able to complete a task that normally would have taken me maybe about an hour to do. Very hassle-free. But if you're not convinced yet that this tool is really amazing, let me show you how you really unlock its superpowers, because it can do way more. So I'll open up my browser here and I'm at a page. It's the Medusa documentation page for event references. So this list here describes all the backend events. And I'd like the AI to know about this. And I can by copying the URL to clipboard, heading back over to VS Code, and now while I have the same task open, and it's important in this case that it's the same task because there's so much relevant context about what we are doing in the previous conversation. So I'm already describing what project we're working in. It knows the context, what I'm trying to do with automated email. It just have a lot of information. So I'll keep continue in this task, even though it says completed. I'll just fill in some more here. So I'm starting a prompt. I would like to have automated emails for all relevant backend events. Take a look at the Medusa event reference documentation. And then I will hit the add key again and I'll paste in the URL here. So now when I send the message, it will get access to the website as well. So I'm adding in a little bit more here, create automated emails following our existing pattern and using the send email styled function. All right, let's see how it does. So this can happen, and this is because I'm not paying for Google Gemini, but it is currently unavailable. So if you see this type of error message, it's because it's overloaded. That's literally what it's saying. The model is overloaded, and I'm not paying, so I'm last in queue. I'll just have to wait a little bit and I'll try again. All right, looks like the Google Gemini service is out of service right now. And to save time, I'm simply going to switch over to Anthropic here. And then I'm gonna hit retry. It's going. So it created for invite accepted. Sure enough, let's hit save. And I'm just going to save all of them without really reviewing the code. This is just a demonstration to show you that it's possible to fetch website data and use that for context in a prompt. I'm not really going to be keeping any of these emails after all, so I'll just save all of them and then delete them later. And it noticed a linting error. So it's doing a second round on this email and it changed it, and it's putting in a hard-coded email address because it wasn't able to get the email address from the event data itself. So here you would have to step in and hand hold it a little bit. And here I hit my rate limit, and that's what I was talking about in the beginning of the video. With Anthropic, you hit your rate limit really quickly, so it is a bit ironic that this cost money. And I already spent with this task $0.03. And now they're saying you are using our service too much, please stop and wait for a while. Usually you just have to wait a few minutes, then you can retry, but you will also hit a daily limit at some point. And I believe that's at 1,000,000 tokens, so $1. But I think this is enough for this demonstration. So let's just take a look at all the things that it created. It created these two are the ones that I'm actually interested in here. But then based on these two, I just pasted in the URL to the entire documentation page and asked it to create automated emails for all of the events that it found relevant. And it just smashed all of these. Bam, bam, bam. But as I said, I'm not going to be keeping any of these, so I'm not going to review the code and I'm not going to testing out the features that they actually work. So I'll just delete all of them, and this just served as a demonstration. Another really nice thing that you can use this paste in URL feature is that if you are trying to get the AI to do something for you and you're noticing that it's failing and you have a feeling that it's lacking context, it doesn't have the information in its training data to complete the task, sometimes you can find a blog post, or you can find a Stack Overflow thread, or even documentation for the software that you're working with, and paste in the URL. Give it another chat message saying, hey, here I found some additional information. Can you please try and complete the task now? And if that doesn't work, sometimes I have gone into the node packages and simply linked files from the source code in the libraries that I'm working with to give it additional context, and usually that enables it to complete the task. So I'm very happy with this. I'm going to push these two changes to my repository, and yeah, I hope that this helped you a lot with being able to code faster using AI. And if you know of any other tools that are better or that you prefer over this, please let me know in the comment. I would really like to test out other tools. I mentioned in the beginning that I tried out Copilot, Pythagora, Ada, Cursor. I like Cline the best, but maybe I have used the other tools wrong. Maybe they have become better now. The tools really changed very rapidly, like on a daily basis. I believe there was just an update to Cline just now when I opened up my editor, and the same with the other tools. So if you're watching this video like a month from its release date, this information here might already be outdated, and maybe some of the other tools, or maybe a brand new tool exists and can do even greater things. But I hope that this demonstrated how you can use Cline at least. That's all for now. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.